Hello, and welcome to another Win Daily Sports Show. My name is Michael Rosile. I got my man, Cian Najad. We will be bringing in Stix picks whenever the hell he gets here, but we decided the people need us. The people want us. So when Stix gets here, we're excited to have him join. But for right now, we need to talk to Casey and ask him why his favorite show is The Masked Dancer or Singer or some bullshit like that. Whatever. We're here to break down the NFL Super Wild Card Weekend. 3 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday. They gave us an extra 2 football games, and I don't think anyone is going to complain about that. If you're watching us on YouTube, please smash that like button is what those YouTubers like to say. If you haven't subscribed already, we're up over past 600. I'm curious when we get to 1,000. How about this, Sia? When we get to 1,000, we'll start giving away shit for free. That sounds great. And we still have our NBA season pass. $150, 7 months. You get everything, including NFL. I think that part is pretty important. We're going to bring Stix picks in here in a second. I'm going to give him a little bit of time to set up, but we are here. We are ready, and I'm very, very excited. Sia, how you doing this weekend, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm really excited. So it looks like we've got, I don't know, probably an hour, 15 minutes ahead of us to talk strictly politics, which I think is fantastic that we're doing a political show today. As production notes said.
I did hear some stuff happen today. But we're here to help.
Washington D.C. is rallying around this football team.
They're excited. They're very excited.
Thank you. Yes, that must be what it is. It is quite the pep rally.
Definitely. Right. Sia, from a doctor and lawyer perspective, Washington football team plus 8.5. Don't wait. We'll get there. Stix, how you doing this week, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm getting the model numbers right now for what the spread should be, based on what it says. So I have everybody. I got one more game. So you guys continue, and I'll be ready.
I can't wait. All right. Yes, as I said, it's a super wild card weekend. We're going to be breaking down all the games. We're here to have some fun with you guys. As you can see, we are sponsored by Manscaped. Don't worry. We'll all talk about our balls in a little bit, but we are here. Manscaped.com, promo code WINDAILY, 20% off. Appreciate the heck out of them. Let's start with this. Casey, Mike, how much do you hate Doug Peterson? Well, let's start with this. If the Giants won more than 6 games, I wouldn't have had to care about Doug Peterson. But how much do I hate Doug Peterson? Fuck Doug Peterson. That's what I can say about that. Sia, how much do you love Doug Peterson for pretty much just saying, I don't want to play? I mean, honestly, I would have done the same thing. Get the higher draft pick. Why not? Now you get your choice of Jamar Chase. You get Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. If you're crazy, they'll make the wrong decision because they always do. They're the Eagles. But Sia, how much do you love Doug Peterson?
First of all, I wouldn't really give Doug Peterson that much credit that he was necessarily thinking of jumping 3 spots up. Yes, it was probably common knowledge to him, but the ego on this complete idiot is really something to behold. And I genuinely think he was just like, no, I just feel like throwing Sudfeld in, so that's what I'm going to do. And I can't read the room, and I don't really know the temperature of the room because this is a spotlight game. It's national TV, and I'm just going to pretend like not the whole country isn't watching. It was like kind of ridiculous. Listen, if this is a 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock game, circumstances are slightly different, probably not a big deal, but sometimes you have to apply context to your situation, and it's classic Doug Peterson. I think the guy's a freaking idiot. I think he's always been an idiot. I've talked about this before. Frank Reich is the guy, and Nick Foles are the guys that won that Super Bowl for the Eagles, not Doug Peterson. And now he's just sort of like, he's got none of those side pieces with him. He's like, I'm still the guy, right? And as of the end of next year, he won't be the guy. And by the way, he did lose the locker room. All he had to do was turn around, look at his offensive line and Jalen Hurts, among others, and he would have known, maybe Sudfeld for 2 series, and I'll throw Jalen Hurts back in there. But that's not a Doug Peterson move. Doug Peterson's about Doug Peterson.
A bad pick and a fumble. And yeah, again, from a Giants fan perspective, dude, you have to win more than 6 games. You can't rely on a 4-win team to be like, this is my saving grace so that the 6-10 team. I was more excited to just have a 6-10 team in the playoffs more than having a 6-10 Giants team. I think it would be hysterical if the NFC East came in with a 6-10 team and then covers or beats the Buccaneers, because I think it's a legitimate possibility. But I don't know, man. It was stupid. I hate Doug Peterson, and thank you for that, Casey. You definitely put us in a good light for this show. So I think this is going to be a fun one. 3 games on Saturday. My plane leaves at 7:30 in the morning. I'm going to St. Lucia for my honeymoon.
Oh, damn, dude.
That's so I'm going to put all my bets in Friday night. So hopefully the Lions don't get too crazy on me, which shouldn't be that crazy. But I'm not going to be able to watch the first game, so I think I'm missing the Bills-Colts. So I guess that's just a good place to start. Let's get there. 1 o'clock, Saturday, 1:05 technically. We have the Bills, we have the Colts. Line opened +7 to the Colts. It is now 6.5, especially over here on DraftKings, and the juice is on the Colts, so that line might be coming down in a little bit. Over-under sits at a nice 51. We actually have more money and more bets coming in on the Bills. And we actually have more money coming in on the under, which is just very disappointing. You never like to see that. See, I'll tee it up to you first. Colts +6.5 against the Bills, and the Bills are allowed to have fans. I don't think it's like that many, but it'll still be fun. Fun to see Bills Mafia get a little crazy on us.
This is interesting. And by the way, I think in some spots, it doesn't look like it on the board we're looking at, but on some spots, it's actually clicked up to 7. I don't know. That might be on some of the news. Like some of the secondary for the Colts are quite iffy. One of their starting corners might not play. So, I mean, listen, their secondary is sort of the problem spot of that defense. And then you add to the fact that DeForest Buckner, I don't think he's playing either. Or if he is, he's certainly going to be hobbled. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But it's going to be tough for that defense. With that said, listen, Josh Allen is really good playing man. He's not great against zone, and he's going to see a lot of zone with Indianapolis. So there's something to be said for that. Like the splits are pretty stark. It's almost like old Josh Allen, new Josh Allen. It's actually not that bad, but I had to kind of throw in a dig there, right? Mm-hmm. So I actually think 6.5 or 7 is quite a big number. And by the way, when you're staring down a 6.5 point favorite, I mean, you got to always ask yourself right off the bat, oh, damn, they actually want me to take that line because it's under the 7. It's under that key number, right? So this is one of those games where I think I have to take the underdog. The Bills are riding so high, not just because of that Dolphins win. I mean, they've been so good all season, but I just think Phillip Rivers is going to be able to move the ball against this defense enough. And the running game has been really good. Now the running game's getting a little dinged because offensive linemen have been hurt, but that didn't seem to hurt them the last couple of weeks. So I think 7's just too many. I think the Bills probably win this game, but it would not shock me at all if the Colts pull out an upset here.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Colts win this game. Now, the DeForest Buckner news is obviously pretty big. Anybody hurt on that offensive line? Again, we have Maurice already in the chat. Taylor, ? Because I think that dude's obviously, we've seen him go nuts, and we know you can run on this Bills defense a little bit. Stix, how are you feeling about this game, and what does the model say?
You know how I feel about the Buffalo Bills, right?
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills?
No. I feel like they're going to get exposed one of these days. It didn't happen against the Patriots. I thought it would happen that night. I think it happens on Saturday. Rock Ya-Sin, I guess, is that the corner you're talking about?
Yeah,
so yeah, he's he's bad. So I don't like. I'm trying to figure out what their game plan is going to be. Like you said, it's going to be a lot of zone. So I think they're going to bracket Diggs, and Beasley's banged up too. So I think Buffalo, like, you're not going to run on Indy no matter what. Buckner's going to play. He's been missing like the first 3 practices every week. But yeah, like you said, he'll be hobbled. So it's not the 100% healthy DeForest Buckner, but Darius Leonard's good to go. That's like my favorite player in the NFL right now on the defensive side. He's so good. Hell of a draft pick that was. But if you bracket Diggs, like, Cole Beasley's not going to beat you. He'll be a good third down target or something like that.
Well, but John Brown is going to be back, by the way.
Right.
Thank you.
He scored a long touchdown on Sunday, right? Last week he played a little bit.
Yeah,
and Isaiah McKenzie had just the break. I think the millionaire maker guy had Isaiah McKenzie is like, what?
3 touchdowns, not bad.
Yeah, what the hell is that? But
hell of a day.
That's what I would do. I think Frank Reich's probably going to do something similar, especially when he is like the OG guy for trick plays. And I feel like I don't know if Buffalo's going to get cute like they have been doing or anything like that, but I don't think they're going to trick Frank Reich. I just don't think. If you stop Diggs, how is Buffalo going to score? And what is Josh Allen going to do? Like, is he going to just shit his pants and start running like crazy? Then if so, I guess there is an edge on his rushing yards. I think that's like mid-20s. I think he'll do whatever he can to win this game. But I don't know. I've never seen him in a big game. I've never seen him succeed in a big game. And they really played nobody all year long, in my opinion, or they haven't in a long time. They haven't been tested in a while. So I don't know. I think Indy could just run the ball down Buffalo's throat, and especially with how we've seen John Taylor and just this offensive line, how much space they create. This just seems like perfect playoff football and a perfect upset spot. I'm going to see. I got the Colts. I don't know if I would touch the money line, but I bet this one early because it got up to 7, and I'm convinced that it was Colts backers manipulating the line. I think they put a ton of money on Buffalo right away to get that number to 7, and then they doubled their bets on Indy. And I think 6.5 is what we're going to close at. I don't think it's going to move. It's such a good number. The model does say Buffalo minus 1.4, but it does have, that's with everybody healthy for Indianapolis. So that obviously could change, but it wouldn't change more than a point. And it did have the Colts favored at a neutral zone or a neutral field, and obviously at Indy they'd be favored. So
wow,
I'm going with Indy.
Yeah, there's some value there. I already took them +7. I think I took them on Monday when the line came out on FanDuel. It was still +7. I grabbed it there. So yeah, I'm happy with it. See, what do you got?
Well, let me just clear that up for people who don't understand what Nick just said. So if they have the Bills minus 1.4, even if we factor in another point, because let's say it's assuming that certain people are healthy for the Colts that might not be healthy, worst case, that's a -2.5. So correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds to me like you're getting 4 points of value on the Colts per the 80-mile model.
Yeah.
On the Colts.
Yeah. And if it's a -110 line, that's just a ridiculous expected value for me. But that's with me trusting the model. It could certainly be wrong. It's been wrong sometimes, but more times than not, it's been pretty damn good. And I'll tell you, what does it have for Josh Allen touchdown passes?
Well, you're looking that up.
I have him at
what do you have?
1.9 touchdown passes for Allen. So that's what, it's just down on their offense. So I just wanted to take a side on the total as well. I think I would lead the under as well.
There's no fun in the under.
It's gross. Yeah, I don't ever want to.
I'm not going to bet the under. Come on. Casey with an awesome fact. Since the start of the 2017 season, home teams are just 1-11 against the spread during the opening round of the playoffs and 4-8 straight up. Interesting.
Wow. That's
crazy.
And
I think
upset for Buffalo.
This Bills team, they did go to the playoffs last year. They played in that wacky game against Deshaun Watson where he pulls it out in the end and it was awesome. And then Josh Allen was incredible in the first half. And in the second half, he threw 3 picks and should have thrown 3 more. I think this is still that Bills team. I still think while Josh Allen has been awesome this year, I still don't fully believe in it. I want to see a Cleveland Buffalo matchup in the Super Bowl. I don't know if that'll 100% work out with the way the seating is and everything, but tell me, how incredible would that be? America, we could finally rejoice around something. The Bills and the Browns in the AFC Championship. God, that would be incredible.
That would be. You said Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. I apologize. One of those teams in the Super Bowl, them playing against each other in the AFC Championship game, I am there for it. But yeah, I'm taking the Colts. Definitely on the Colts. Sounds like you guys are too. So we're going full panel, guys. And you know what happens when you go full panel? It's never good. Never good.
Well, if you're gonna go full panel, it better be on the underdog, because all those guys on ESPN that have no clue what they're doing, they're always going full panel with the favorite, and that's obviously not where you want to be.
Yeah, I love when they do it too. It's like, do you think Alabama will win this game? It's like, well, they're favored by 26, Reese. So yes, I do think Alabama's going to win this game. So you'll love to see that. All right, let's move on. Second game of Saturday, we have an NFC West battle. We have the Rams. We have the Seahawks. I don't think we're going to see Jared Goff in this game. If I'm correct on that, please correct me if I'm wrong. But it looks like we're going to get John Wolford again. I think his first name's John. Honestly, it could literally be anything. It feels like a good John. This line opened at what looks like 4.5 to the Seahawks and has actually come down to 3, which is interesting. Interesting to say the least. Backup quarterback. The line is only 4.5, and then it's come down to 3. Let's see where the money is going. It's honestly 50-50 split. Money is a legit 50-50 split right now, over under at 41.5, which sucks. That's no fun. Stix, we'll start with you. You think John Wolford can pull out the upset in Seattle?
They're tough to predict. I know he's going to run a lot. I didn't think he'd run as much as he did last week. But that'll. I got that game at Seattle minus 3.7. So great number for Vegas.
Great job.
Don't have much of an edge. Seattle's defense looked pretty good though recently. So that was always their weak spot, is they couldn't stop a nosebleed, and they seem to have figured it out ever since they gave up 500 yards to Dak Prescott. I think literally it was 500 yards, right?
Yep.
They've been on the comeback a little bit, and who'd they get? That guy from
Carlos Dunlap. Yeah, we literally laughed at it. We were just like, wow, that's going to do something. Him and Jamal Adams come back, and their defense is capable.
Yep. So I don't know. That's a really tough spot. I don't think I have a lean. I think if I were to lean, I'd just lean Russell and Pete Carroll, because I really trust those two. I just don't know why they've been terrible the last like 6 weeks. And Russell, anytime you play him at DFS, is just lighting money on fire apparently these days, when he was like the chalkiest quarterback the first 6 weeks of football. So it's just, maybe I'm just stuck in the past, I guess, call me old fashioned, but I'm going to lean with Seattle. I do have this game going just over the total, though. Again, I don't know. The model still respects the Rams offense and obviously still respects the shit out of the Seahawks because they were my third favorite stack last week and didn't do a whole lot. But Lockett did. So that offset because I was so heavy on Lockett. But
that worked out.
Seattle by nose with the points. I really want Goff to play, but it's just, everything I read says he's not going to be ready.
Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. Sia, what do you got? Seahawks -3.
Goff, he was a limited participant in practice, but I'm going to tell you guys something kind of crazy. I actually think the Rams have a better shot with John Wolford at quarterback. And it's, first of all, Seattle is actually a good team for Goff to play because they're not going to apply. As good as Dunlap and Adams have been, they're not going to get a ton of pressure on Goff, so he'll be able to handle it. Like, he'll be clean in the pocket for the most part. But I love the dual threat thing that John Wolford's got going on. And honestly, like, we'll mention DFS as this goes. I'm not saying he's like a quarterback I want. Obviously, Josh Allen, maybe Russell Wilson. It's a weird slate with quarterbacks, right? So those are going to be the two popular guys. But if we think that John Wolford can throw for 2 touchdown passes and potentially rush for 1. I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying that's certainly a possibility. Then on DraftKings at 4.9K, that is like really good value. Honestly, he had almost 60 yards rushing. It's very easy for him, especially against this defense that he's playing, to potentially get into the end zone in a sort of a Taysom Hill type sort of hybrid running back quarterback role. So I like the Rams here quite a bit, actually. Honestly, I think it would be, this is crazy, but I think it would be a stay away for me if Goff is playing. But with what I think is going to happen is that Wolford's going to be like declared the starter in a couple days because Goff can't go. And I'm hoping this line then ticks up to 3.5 because, okay, now we know Goff's not going to. So, okay, let's lay a little bit more money on Seattle. Listen, this is not a play on Wolford. This is a play on the Rams defense, particularly against Seattle. Like, Russell Wilson's great, and I've been waiting for him to pull out miracles the last 4 or 6 weeks, but he's going to be particularly vulnerable against this Rams defense. That's just the bottom line. They have the corners to cover the receivers, and they have the defensive line to apply pressure on the outside and up the middle to Wilson. It's just, this is like the worst matchup for Seattle as far as I can see it. So give me this is not going to go down to 2.5. Give me the Rams at 3. If it goes to 3.5, give me the Rams at 3.5. 4, same story. I like it.
I was waiting to see that line go up to 4 or 5 when Wolford's the starter. I think the public will overreact. I think you got 100%. That's where you get the real value. But if you like 3.5, then the model's right on it. It's not like there's an edge anyway in my book here. I just think if the public really overreacts to Wolford being named the starter, then we could absolutely smash the Rams. But is Sharp Money going to do the same thing? I think you're on the right side there. See, I like your you talked me into the Rams.
I'm kind of curious though, why, if the line opened at 4.5, why the hell did it come down to 3? Was there any, what did I miss that made it move 1.5 with, again, the money, maybe this.
Got no injuries. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the money's relatively split 50-50 everywhere. Why did it come down 1.5? Is that Vegas trying to bait us into something?
No,
exactly.
No. I think it's a couple things. It's the possibility that Goff is going to play potentially, but honestly, I think this is, I don't know the weight of the money that's down, but I think this is a lot of sharp money being bad matchup for Seattle. So 4.5 is a ridiculous line. I genuinely think that you can't always just be oh, it's the backup quarterback, so they're going to win by a touchdown. That's just not how it works. Especially, I understand that you can scheme for Wolford now. We've seen some tape of him, but sort of the opposite is true too. Now he's got his feet under him. He's been through an entire game. He is a dual threat. It's not super easy to scheme for guys like that. You don't know, especially, oh, by the way, Sean McVay is the coach. I actually think Pete Carroll is a slightly underrated coach. That's just my thing. Most people disagree with me, but he's not in the same class as Sean McVay. Sean McVay is in that Kyle Shanahan sort of, Belichick class, and he outclassed Kingsbury, which is why, I like them. Yeah, but I understand that.
Yeah.
Well, but the thing is
please don't tell me you think Cliff Kingsbury and Pete Carroll are on the same level of coaching.
No, absolutely not. Cool. But the point I'm making is, you have to look at the coaching matchup too, particularly in the playoffs. You can't just ignore that and the players on the field. No. When it's Sean McVay, when it's Kyle Shanahan, Josh McDaniels, Belichick, and some of these other coaches, that has to be factored in. So that's another reason I like Sean McVay and the Rams.
Yeah, I think it's I legitimately said to my buddy Nick, who's a big Rams fan, I was like, what if like Sean McVay had just a non-statue for a quarterback? Like, didn't even have to run. Like, we saw Walford, like they had very specific runs for him because we know he's a smaller dude. He's not going to be able to throw the ball as much as his first game starting.
True.
Daniel Jones, not the best quarterback, but if he was on the Rams, I feel like he would be significantly better. And I also think the Rams would probably be significantly better just
Totally
for the
agree.
fact that he could literally just move. That's it. Just he's capable of moving. I think that's important.
Totally
My good friend E-Tip, he digs the Rams. This was pretty good when talking about Goff. I think he's no Tua, but he's okay. Betters on the Rams sharp side, especially with no Goff. And got to throw this out here. Sia is spitting it tonight.
Yeah, talk me into the Rams. I'm in now. I just was waiting for 5. But I don't think the line's going to bump.
Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna go there.
By the way, do you think it will move back up though? Right? Maybe not to 4.5, but you'll think it'll move back up.
4 if Goff's ruled out. I think the public will overreact a little bit, but it's like we got to be sharp. Guys with bigger wallets than us to get down on the 4 before they knock it back down to 3 again.
Right, exactly. And speaking of Tua, by the way, I mean, what a train wreck that was. But it's funny because as that game was going, I was like, that Bills Miami game, I was like, man, the Bills are going to potentially regret this because they could have just had Miami the following week if they just let Miami win instead of playing the Colts, which is clearly a tougher matchup. I mean, everybody knew that even before that disaster last week that Miami put up. But the funny part is, it's not even really the Bills' fault that they won the game. They could have laid down and they still would have won that game. I mean, Tua was that bad. And it's just like, I don't want to get off on too much of a rant. Let's go to the Washington game, of course. But that was pathetic. And we said it right when it happened, when Ryan Fitzpatrick got replaced, which I think was week 7 or something. We were on this very show and we're like, what the hell is this? What are you doing? And here is it all coming to fruition. It was such a ridiculous move. And there were so many times throughout, from week 7 forward, where he could have been I guess he's not ready. He's going to take some reps on the sideline and it's going to be Fitz's team. But I mean, what are we doing here? They just ruined a potentially very good season.
They were 1 year ahead. As you said, if
you can win, you win.
Well, I think they would have played Fitzmagic if he was available, but he got the vid. He wasn't even on, and he was on the field. I think Tua would have started, but I think immediately after that first pick, because I think he threw 3. I think once they started to get down, you're not going to get back in the game with Tua. Now, it also wasn't completely his fault. There was a punt return for a touchdown, and McKenzie had 3 touchdowns. Why is that guy? Why is your defense allowing that guy to get 3 touchdowns? Clearly, there's something wrong there. But yeah, obviously the 3 picks didn't help, and I was busting one of my friend's balls because Tua was it was 11 of 19 for 84 yards. You're like, Jesus Christ, man! This is bad. This is
a heartbreaker too. We had we beat the closing number by 5 points. We had Miami plus 3.5, was it, or 2.5?
Yeah,
either way,
3.5.
Unbelievable.
I had a money line play on Miami too because as much as I have not liked Tua this year, I was like, eventually Matt Barkley's coming in and Diggs is going to sit, and it's just going to be, especially because Cole Beasley had gotten hurt the week before, so I thought they'd be super mindful of that and basically pull guys in the second quarter. Well, I was close to right, but it didn't matter. It just turns out it didn't matter because Miami was that bad.
Yeah, Matt Barkley was lighting that defense up. Yeah, you love to see it. Round 1 playoff teams with losing record are 7-0 against the spread and 6-1 straight up. E-Tip, we're about to get there, man. Don't worry. Also, Stix, people liking the new look. Sweet glasses. Hungover librarian who lost his way. I love that. That's good, Joe. Love it. That is good stuff. So I think you guys convinced me. I think the Rams, I also think because it's a divisional matchup, the Rams defense is insane. The Rams defense is absolutely insanely good. So I think that's something very important to know and pay attention to, because I think Aaron Donald is going to be wreaking havoc all day. And Russell Wilson's a magician, but he has not been very good the last few weeks. And the 2 matchups that DK Metcalf has had against Jalen Ramsey, he completely became a turtle, and he just doesn't exist in those games. So I think that's going to help a lot too. So we'll see. Should be fun. I'll probably be on the dog on that one too. And I think I'm going to be on the dog on this one. Buccaneers football team, Bucks on the road, favored by 7.5. That line looks like it's at 8 right now over here on DraftKings. You can get it at 8.5 depending on your book in certain places. About 3/4 of the money coming in on the Bucks. A little more than 60% of the bets coming in on the Bucks. All the money, 70%, is coming on the over. The numbers actually come down from 46 to 44. Sia, resident Washington Football Club fan here. Alex Smith and whatever that other guy's name is, they might have to split time because Alex Smith's calf is bad. Did I read that earlier this week?
Oh yeah, Taylor Heineke.
That's bad. Yeah. That's bad. That's not good.
Actually, I completely disagree with you. I would like this game way better if Alex Smith wasn't playing at all.
He
genuinely
looked bad. He looked very bad Sunday night. Yeah, it's bad.
He can't move. It honestly, like, it reminded me of RG3 in 2012 in the first round of the playoffs against Seattle when he had clearly torn ligaments in his knee, and Shanahan's like, "Oh yeah, he's good. He told me he's good, so I'm just going to leave him out there." And he was literally kind of like hopping, I think, on his like left leg as he was like trying to, end up losing the game because of that. But the point is, Alex Smith, they would have lost that game if Jalen Hurts played all 4 quarters because the defense was getting gassed because it was 3-and-out season for Washington. So I can't imagine Alex Smith surviving a full 4 quarters. And I don't mean from a health standpoint. I mean from a keeping his team in the game standpoint. Like, he literally basically can't move, which means he has to get the ball out within 2 seconds, which means nothing deep downfield is happening. And the defense is playing up. Like, it's just such a disadvantage to know that A, your quarterback can't break the pocket and buy time, and B, he's not going to throw it downfield. And Tampa Bay knows that's going to happen. With Taylor Heineke, yes, he can make mistakes, and he probably will make mistakes. But one thing he can do, and he proved it 2 weeks ago, he can move the pocket, he's mobile, and he will throw it downfield. And he looks like a bright quarterback. Like, I genuinely think we have a better shot with him. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be Alex Smith. Like, good for him. I hope he can pull it off, but I want to take the underdog. I like Tipton's stat that he just showed. Like, I want to take my team, but Alex Smith, man, it's a hard watch.
It was bad. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Jalen Hurts, if he stayed in that game, the Giants would be in this game right now, which would be interesting. But again, got to make more than 6 wins. Can't really expect to make the playoffs in 6 wins, Giants fans. What if it's like some ceremonial thing? Like, what if they just send Alex Smith out there? He takes the first snap. They just do a run play. Everyone claps. Like, congratulations, you came back, and then they just take him out.
So that's not going to happen. No. Ron Rivera's proved he's going to roll out Alex Smith.
Yeah, as long as he can. Man. He looked bad. Stix, how about you? Washington Football Club +8 at home. You're on mute, by the way.
I am, aren't I? I see an 8.5 still. Is it 8?
Yeah. On DraftKings, I'm seeing 8, but I think you can get an 8.5 in other places.
Yeah. Classic European books.
Love this.
No, Circus 8.5. Everything else is 8 or 7.5 now. I don't see how Washington scores. I'm with Sia, but I also don't think that Tampa Bay is going to put up a lot of points either. So 8 seems like a ton, but what is the path for Washington to score? They're not going to run on them, and the checkdown is all they have. So
yeah, I think they can potentially run on them. I think that depends on Gibson's health. I mean, listen, the Tampa Bay run defense is good, but Vita Vea isn't there. They're not quite as good.
They've been still pretty good.
Yeah, fair enough.
I know he would make a huge change if he was in that defense still, but dude, I don't know. I feel like you just stack the box and you keep guys in the flats to eliminate the checkdowns and make Alex Smith throw one more than 10 yards and see if it beats you.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like the under unless this game gets super out of hand. I'll say that because they're going to be able to apply the requisite pressure on Tom Brady for him to do the whole like check down thing as well. And I don't know about Mike Evans' health. I actually don't think he's going to play, but even if he does, I don't think he's going to be healthy. So you're worried about Antonio Brown and, maybe a little Gronk, and of course Chris Godwin, who's coming off a nice game. But the edge is definitely with Tampa. I just wish it was Taylor Heineke starting quarterback. I think it would make it a lot easier for me personally.
How about this?
Plays Tampa money line. Let's do that.
Yeah, I took Tampa in a teaser. I think I pushed them down to minus. Well, we only do football numbers, right? 6. So I pushed them down to 1 or 1.5. I can't remember.
Right. Better.
Yeah. Well, I learned from the best, man. I learned from the best. See ya. Let's say Alex Smith starts the first half, looks like total dog shit. Mm-hmm. Second half starts, Taylor Heineke comes in. Let's say the Bucks are up 14. Do you think the football team covers then?
Covers? Mm-hmm. Probably not. But I think if the score was 10-0, or like if they were up 10, I think they would.
Okay.
I think
Would you
Taylor
bet it
Heineke's
live?
enough to impact the score in favor of Washington.
What'd you say, Stix?
Same question that Michael asked you. Would you bet him live, though? Say the live market was in Washington plus 10. Would you take them, or would you think that Heineke presses a little bit too much?
No, I
And
would
it's a good-
take the plus 10, the live line.
Nice.
Okay.
Might be receiving a little Facebook message from St. Lucia from me. Let's see.
We can be your proxies, man. You let us know.
No. We wouldn't do that because that's definitely not illegal. Literally want to make sweet love to those points, says Tipton. Will be turnovers and short field. I mean, that is one thing, right? Like the Tampa Bay defense is nuts. And now Jalen Hurts gave him some trouble, but he also, I think, got like 2 turnovers in plus territory. So that's where I think, like, if you give Tom Brady and the Bucs turnovers and plus territory, this game's over. Like, I think the Bucs blow them the frig out. If they can limit turnovers, I mean, why not? Why not? I kind of want the Bucs to win. No, I don't really want the Bucs to win. I don't know.
First of all, hold on.
I don't really want the Bucs to win.
What a great story that this awful NFC East team just stumbles into the playoffs and knocks like the best quarterback ever out. And that is fully air quotes right there. Yeah. The best system quarterback of all time for sure. But best QB ever. I mean, come on. Let's stop.
I'm not here to argue LeBron versus Jordan or anything, but I do think Tom Brady's pretty good.
I'm just trying to fill time with a 6 game.
No need to fill time. We're doing a pretty damn good job already. I don't know, man. I would love to see the football team win. I would love to see Alex Smith win. There's that whole story about how he lost his leg and whatever.
Warrior.
Warrior. It would be pretty cool. It would be pretty cool, but find it hard.
Model has Tampa Bay -4.5.
So that's the
good value on Washington. Yeah. I can't bet against Brady. I won't do it. It is the name of my unborn child. So we are over that. But yeah,
I always forget about that until you remind me. That's always fun. So yeah, that's our Saturday slate. Stix, do you have anything in terms of DFS for the people that maybe a play you like? Maybe like a John Walford. Maybe like one of those wide receivers, like a Skirter, or anything along those lines that you think maybe you could find a little value for some people. But see, you didn't like my Skirter?
Oh no, it was good. It was solid.
Okay. What do you got, Stix?
I think if you're playing the Saturday only slate, I haven't decided what my edge will be, but on the whole weekend, I think you just play Lamar Jackson, and if not, you play Walford, because like Sia said, this guy could he's going to run for 40 yards. I think that's going to be a thing. Not out yet because they haven't made a decision, but I'll tell you what I have.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he's not named the starter yet.
It's not going to be close to 40, but I do agree that it'll
be like 18 or something. It'll be
it'll be like 22.5 or something like that. He'll definitely hit that.
Yep, hit it early, and then you'll get the best number because it'll close higher. But yeah, if he runs for 40 yards, that's a passing touchdown right there. So if he can, all we need for a guy at 4,900 to get a path to success is 2 touchdowns passing, and then if he runs for 40 yards, that's 3 touchdown passes in my opinion. But if he sneaks one in, like Sia was mentioning, or gets to 60 yards, like that's just absolutely free cheese. So I think on the full slate thus far, the only 2 quarterbacks I would ever touch is going to be Lamar and Wolford.
How does Jonathan Taylor's price look, out of curiosity? Sorry, Sia.
He's 7,900, the most expensive running back by far. 2K more than anybody else, which is Chris Carson and Gibson and Ronald Jones.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, none of them are really good.
I mean, you got to play Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
The dude's going to get 20 touches.
What do you got, Sia?
I was just going to say, when you look at the Saturday slate, and frankly, I haven't studied this from a DFS standpoint quite yet, although I'm looking at the pricing now. You look at these teams, and it's like there's just not a lot of fantasy gold here, right? But I think that's sort of where the edge is. I think people are going to want to play the full slate because it's like, oh, well, if I play the full slate, I get that Ravens Titans game and Browns Steelers, all that. I like the slates where it's actually kind of tough because the Win Daily teams, we're all going to be in Discord. We're going to be producing the articles and the projection models, and it's going to be like, oh yeah, but this guy, it's just with the bad slates, it's just 1 or 2 differentiators on a 3-game slate and a bad one at that, where you don't have to play John Wolford to win. I mean, you could still play Josh Allen or whatever, but you could play John Wolford and you could play a sneaky receiver, like a Cam Sims or something like that. There's plenty of opportunity in the quote bad slate. So I think you need to definitely it's going to be more fun to play the full slate, but don't ignore the Saturday slate, especially if you're part of Win Daily. Like, we're going to have some plays for you that are going to differentiate your team from the others.
I think, oh shit, what was I going to say? I don't know. I had something that was pretty good. It's gone. And then I read the comment down there. My girlfriend's listening to this passively and says, Sia sounds like Durs from Workaholics. Minus how good looking he is. I wonder who put that. It was Nick. Nick put that. I love it. I think it's great. If I remember what I was going to say.
Have you seen that show?
I actually have, but I don't know who that particular character is, so I can't.
He's the tall one.
The main one.
Yeah,
is he dreamy? Is he adorable? Is he super smart?
Dude, you do sound like him. Shit. Now that I heard it, wow, I would have never guessed that.
I don't hear it yet.
I do. I heard it big time there.
If you're listening on the audio podcast, 1, please give us a 5-star review. That would be awesome. And 2, we hope you hear it because I look at Sia too much, so I can't even hear him, honestly. I just can read his lips.
I'm going to have to watch an episode tonight. And
it is a funny show. Like, that's definitely a show to watch from what I recall. It's been a while.
I can't see it. I can't hear it. I mean, I'll have to watch the show, maybe listen back. I'll figure it out.
I'm with him. You cannot.
If I may, though, Joe, is she watching the show? And what else does she have to say about me? If there's anything else that she said, I mean, the floor is yours.
Share too. That's a messed up thing. We can get off the rails pretty quick.
Well, actually, Joe, stick around and maybe you want to put headphones in because I do want to let you guys know that Win Daily is brought to you by Manscaped. So
it's right there.
We'll give you a couple seconds, Joe, to figure that out. Just wanted to let you know, I'm sure you're very familiar with Manscaped. Support for Win Daily is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming. Joe, just want to let you know where we're going with this bad boy. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over the grooming. No, wait, that's not the right copy. They obsess over the technology developments to provide you with the best tools for your grooming experience, as Win Daily does for your DFS experience. So I hope you guys are enjoying that. Stix has his. He loves shaving his balls. Sia has his. He refuses to talk about it because he's a doctor and a lawyer and has kids and a wife and doesn't want this to come back on him. I have mine. I love shaving my balls with it. I think it is absolutely fantastic. Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created and just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. Their 3rd generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. Stix, have you cut your balls yet?
No, I think it's impossible.
Have you cut your balls yet?
I have not.
All right.
No, success.
Leave it there. When I say premium, I promise 90-minute battery life. That bad boy goes forever. Waterproof technology allows you to groom in the shower if that's what you prefer. And if I said this before, if you prefer long shaves in the shower with the lights off, Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0 is for you because they even have an LED light which illuminates the grooming area of your choice for a closer and more precise shave. And the standing charge, the charging stand, absolutely fantastic. Show it off loud and proud. Let everyone know that you shave your balls. If you're listening to me right now, I want you to experience it firsthand. Trim that junk of yours. Get 20% off and free shipping with promo code WINDAILY at manscaped.com. That's 20% off, free shipping. Promo code WINDAILY at manscaped.com. One more time for the people in the back, 20% off, free shipping at manscaped.com using promo code WINDAILY. And I promise your balls will thank you. So, Joe, let us know how your girlfriend appreciated that. And, hey, if she needs a good idea for a present for you, tell her to use promo code WINDAILY at manscaped.com.
It's a great present.
Good present. Good present. All right, let's move on to the Sunday slate of games. Still can't remember that thing that I wanted to say before, so hopefully it didn't matter that much. First game, we have the Raven. Oh, I do know. Tipton, if you're watching, Tipton, if you are watching, can you please, and we're going to have to go back in time a little bit, can you please get me the Tom Brady's record on non-1 o'clock games for this season? If anybody can do that, because it's insane. He is terrible when they are not at 1 o'clock in primetime games, on 4 o'clock games. He's been awful this year. Like, they've only won a couple of those games. So, Tipton, if you're watching, I want to see those because this is the 8 o'clock game. So I think that is some important information.
He did beat the living piss out of the Packers at 4 o'clock, though.
Okay, that was one. He almost lost to the Giants when they were really, really bad. They got drubbed by the Saints twice.
That was a Monday night game, right? The Giants one?
Yep. Giants was Monday night. Saints, one of them was prime time. Feel like there was a couple other ones in there.
First game of the year, right?
First game of the year, that was a 4 o'clock against the Saints. Yep. It's weird. He's got like a weird thing going on. If it's not, it's like Kirk Cousins. If it's not at 1 o'clock East Coast time, he could pretty much
his
just
like
not
a
play.
weird TB12 like body method. Like
Well,
he's like 50 years old. Yeah.
He goes to sleep super early. Like that's an actual fact. So
Yeah.
that might mess with his body clock, I suppose.
8 o'clock.
I used to go to bed early too. I was a big I still am. I got to get 9 hours of sleep or I'm useless. Except for on
Holy shit, dude.
It's 9 hours of sleep.
I mean, I get like 7.5 and I feel like I'm.
You go to bed so early too. Like, well, football season, I can't. I gotta like, I'm up at like a kid on Christmas. When it's Sunday morning, I'll wake up at like 6, even if I was out.
I was gonna say when I have some good screenshots of you at 6 o'clock in the morning. So, well, I digress. So, Tipton, if you're out there, please go find that for me. Ravens Titans in Tennessee. This game already happened once this year, and Derrick Henry went nuts. They came back from like a 14-point. Titans came back from like a double-digit deficit in the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. I was texting our good friend Iggy Rodriguez. I actually was hungover when this game happened, so I went to sleep with the Titans getting crushed, and then wake up to 4 text messages from him, progressively getting sadder and more depressed and angry, which was a lot of fun. So, sorry, Iggy. Ravens opened -3.5. Looks like it's -3 now. It's come down a little bit. Nope, still 3.5 here on DraftKings. Most of the money's going to the Ravens. Over/under sits at a cool 54.5. Most of the money's coming on the under there. Stix, I'll start with you. Lamar Jackson, redemption from last year. I mean, he threw for like 1 million yards and had 18 touchdowns. Still couldn't win the game. Do you think Derrick Henry does it again?
I do not. I got Baltimore -5.5.
Oh.
So it's not too much over the number, but I don't know how this game just sets up weird because last year Tennessee's defense was good. This year their defense is awful.
Yeah, their defense is bad.
So, but they're terrible against a pass, and Baltimore can't pass. So that's like the whole. I don't know how it's just going to be such a weird game. It's very hard to handicap, but if I got 2 points over the number, I'm taking Baltimore. I'm not even a Lamar Jackson guy, but for DFS, obviously, he's got a ceiling higher than anybody on the slate and probably the floor. Hollywood Brown coming off a big game finally, but Tennessee absolutely sucks against tight ends too. But it's like, Mark Andrews is really their only true consistent threat. So it's like they're not just going to single coverage him all day. So I had a really hard time projecting this game, but I'm going to go with Baltimore. They're on the road too. They're in Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. AJ Brown's a little banged up too. I know he finished the game and looked strong, but apparently he was kind of limited at practice a little bit, ankle swelling up. He's going to need that because his size is obviously his biggest asset, but he's going to need some speed too. So
he's going to need his ankles. Hot take from Stix. AJ
like
Brown needs his ankles.
He does.
3.5. I like that. I like it. I honestly think the Ravens win, but I'm not sure by how many. See, what do you got?
I'm surprised this opened at 3.5. I would have thought this line would have opened at maybe Baltimore minus like 1.5 or 2.5. And I don't really understand why it's 3.5, to be honest with you. I mean, I guess I don't know if it's maybe just the narrative that it's like they get to come back and right some wrongs against Tennessee. But yeah, I don't think the matchup is particularly good. I think the Ravens win, but I think 3.5 is too many points. I don't listen, like Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, he's had that ankle issue for like 4 weeks now. So, I mean, he's probably going to walk it off. I mean, honestly, there's some games where it's looked like he's going to be out for the game and then suddenly he springs up and, he's fine. So I suspect Ryan Tannehill, AJ Brown, Corey Davis, and Derrick Henry are going to be able to move the ball. If anything, we do have our classic backdoor cover situation here. I mean, 3.5, you're getting the hook too. So, is it super far-fetched to think they're down 7 or 10, with like 3 minutes left and Ryan Tannehill comes down and leads them to a covering drive? Not really. Tannehill's a good quarterback. So, and this Ravens D is good, but again, you got Derrick Henry on the other side. Pick your poison. Are you going to like load the box? Or are you going to cover AJ Brown and Corey Davis and company? So yeah, this line is weird to me. I don't particularly like it. I think the Baltimore Ravens probably squeak by, but I wouldn't give the points. I like Tennessee plus 3.5.
Oh, how banged up is Roger Saffold? That's a big one to me too. I was reading this as if he's going to play, he's going to be on one leg. That's a big, like he is there. He's their best lineman left, right? Because the big dude's out for the year, isn't he? Who's the psycho guy? Taylor Lewan. He's out for the year, right?
Yeah, he's out for the year.
Yes,
the psycho guy.
He is a psycho. That guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a psycho. Yeah.
I wouldn't fight any lineman, but like he would probably be the last one I choose.
Richie Incognito. He'd be the last one I choose.
Didn't he cry though too, Incognito, or he made
He
the
did a
two?
lot
I
of
don't
stuff.
know. That was
It's fine.
a weird story. Yeah, we'll skip that. But I don't see. To me, I read that 3.5 as the public reacted the same way Sia just did, and I know Sia's not like a fish by any means. He wouldn't. I just like. To me, it was a weird line. As I think that should be 3, 2.5, or 3, and I'd really think about it. So it's a weird line. I think Vegas is begging for Tennessee bets. And I think Baltimore is going to win this one pretty easily, especially if Saffold's out. Then I'm all
that's a good point, and that's something to monitor. I totally agree with you. We'll have to see how the week goes on that.
Yeah, I think the Ravens win this one.
What's the money report, Michael? What's the money on this one?
The money report. Did I not say? I apologize, guys. We have about 2/3 of the money coming in on the Ravens at 3.5.
Okay.
So
I figured everybody would be on Tennessee.
Yeah, I think the Ravens a couple weeks ago became like the team nobody wanted to face. I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's that narrative. They were the hottest team, right? They were 6-5, and now they're 11-5, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, they went on a run there.
Not against mostly horrible teams.
Oh yeah, they played nobody in that stretch. They played the Browns. So okay, decent, but that was a divisional game, and that game was wacky as shit anyway. Probably should have lost that game, but whatever. Played the Giants. That was a joke. The Bengals, obviously. Yeah, so they didn't really play anybody, and they looked really bad earlier this year. But hey, confidence is key. So yeah, I think the Ravens do walk away with this one, but I don't know, man. Derrick Henry, that dude scares me in the cold months. Like I feel like I'm not the only one.
The Ravens' best passing game was last week. So I know
against nobody, against Brandon Allen, who threw for 54 yards, I think. So
yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, well, hey, don't ever talk about Brandon Allen.
I will never. No, never against Stix. It was against the worst. I mean, and that's the other thing, though. The Titans should have lost 2 games against the Texans now. They should have lost both of those games against the Texans. Obviously didn't. Win's the only thing that matters, so who am I? But they're just such a weird team, man.
I think Baltimore rolls them. It was a tune-up game. You know, it's like D1 colleges going to play Mount St. Mary or something like that. And, you know, can make sure everything's working, everything's running right. Come in. I think as long as they're not going to overlook Tennessee at the playoff game. There's no letdown.
You can't this year, yeah.
I think that's my favorite bet. Now I'm going to talk myself into that being that.
Can you cut this clip up and tag Mount St. Mary's?
100%. I would love to.
I don't even know where that school is, but
ISU. What if we went and all played ISU? How about that?
They suck too. I don't want to talk about them.
James Robinson. Come on.
Well, they're basketball. I'm talking about their They've had the same coach for 8 years, and he's never recruited one good player from the city of Chicago. I don't get it. He can't. Like, it is a high school basketball powerhouse city in the country, probably the second best, maybe the first best in recruits in quite some time. Can't get anybody there. So I don't know. I don't know what is he doing here. Get him out.
You know, Chicago's not in Iowa, right?
Illinois
State. Illinois State.
We're Stix fans.
We're Iowa State. Okay, my bad.
People think ISU.
I actually, from the last show, I thought you were saying Iowa State the entire time. I thought you went to Iowa State. I thought that was weird. Okay, gotcha. Illinois
If
State.
it was me, I could have had it wrong. But yeah, it's Illinois State, where James Robinson went.
Put Illinois State on the map, though. People that say ISU should be talking about Illinois State.
Okay.
All my friends that went to University of South Carolina when we were in college, and they used to be like, "Oh yeah, back at USC." I was like, "When did you go to California?" And then we'd always have an argument, and I was always right because, like, come on.
Oh yeah, 100%. You should have scolded them every single time, like you scold a dog. Like, no, not do that.
So Casey came through for us. The Bucks 7-0 at 1 p.m. starts, 4-5 on non-1 p.m. starts. So very clearly a stark contrast there. And one of those games they should have lost to the Giants. Absolutely. And it was when the Giants were really, really bad. Like their defense wasn't even capable yet. So you could almost say they should have been 3-6 then. So
we're taking Washington. There it is. Tom Brady's body clock won't be right.
He's 100 years old. He doesn't get his greens at the correct time, I think. That's probably what it is. Casey also has Mount St. Mary's University in Maryland. See his backyard. Hey.
Oh, wow.
We're going to tag all these colleges, and hopefully we can just hype up some college kids, get them all pissed off. See what happens.
We don't suck. We're no tune-up.
Let's move on. The 4:00 game on Sunday. I love 3 games in 3 games, man. This is just so sweet. Bears, Saints. Saints started as 10.5-point favorites, is now down to 9.5. The Bears suck. all the money, over 90%, is coming in on the Saints. We get a little reverse line movement. Josh Applebaum, I promised to get you on the show. Never got you on the show. Pretty disappointed in myself. I'll be honest, a little disappointed in myself. Over-under sits at 47. The Bears suck, but do they suck by 10 points? The Saints haven't, instilled that much confidence in me. I don't know. What about you, Sia?
10's too much. And honestly, I've been pretty impressed with the Bears. I mean, obviously, Trubisky's always...
He's bad.
He's pretty bad, but he's not quite as bad as I thought at the beginning of the season. He's prone to making the mistake. He needs to run the ball a little bit more. He needs to do his best Josh Allen impression. So that's kind of Matt Nagy's job, not his. But honestly, David Montgomery, Allen Robinson, Mooney, all these guys, I think they have enough to cover a 10-point spread. And by the way, I believe Taysom Hill is in the concussion protocol, so we'll have to kind of wait and see. That does matter. As far as Drew Brees, I mean,
he's retiring. He pretty much already renounced it. So
did he?
God, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's going to be able to get the ball out. I mean, you got Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray, but the Stix, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Bears pass rush isn't bad. They'll be able to get to Brees, right?
They need Roquan.
Okay.
I think he's questionable, but yeah, no, they'll definitely be able to get to Brees. But Michael Thomas, I think, is going to be back. And
I was gonna, yeah.
Buster Skrine is questionable. He's their nickel. He's bad anyway, but they're going to need him because they don't have anything. Duke Shelley, I think, is the next nickel corner behind him, and he is bad. So
I love when Nick mispronounces a name because he's so good at everything that when he mispronounces, I'm like, all right, we got him.
Buster Skrine, yeah, Buster Skrine, been on the league for 8 years.
I call him Skrine all the time.
Oh, okay, that's a you thing then.
You know what it was? I think it was his rookie year of Madden, and I got an interception with him because I believe I was the Jets. Trying to do the rebuild, get dead last, get the first pick.
Respect.
We've all done this in men. And I swear I got an interception with them, and they said Skrine, and that's what it's been ever since.
Damn.
All right. That's a good reason, I guess. So Sia, Bear, I mean, the Bears are bad, but I don't think they're that bad. And this is classic Saints aren't supposed to lose this game, right? Classic Saints aren't supposed to lose this game, and somehow the refs come in and make sure they lose this game. So let's just throw that out there. I do think the Saints win. I don't think that's really going to be that big of a question. It might be one of those dirtier games, probably one of those 24-17, 17-14 games. I wouldn't be surprised because we see Drew Brees get into those sometimes, but I think the Saints still win. What about you, Stix?
I just don't see as bad as the Bears are. I just don't see them getting blown out. The model does say New Orleans wins by 12.
Oh,
with Roquan and Buster Skrine out, but they may be worth a point combined total. Maybe Roquan a little bit more. Just
Casey got us. Buster Skrine was drafted by the Browns.
He
did go to the Jets.
Browns. It was the Browns that I did because it was Johnny Football when I actually thought that was to play it. So it was, yes. I was playing a video game as the Browns. And I had Josh Cribbs, I think was my punt returner at the time. He was fast. It was a bad team, but I turned him around. This game's tough. I just don't see how do the Bears get blown out when they play so slow? The Saints don't really play fast, but Trubisky can throw a pick six and it completely just flips the board. So I'm gonna go with, since I have it at 12, I think 9.5. I'll take the Saints. I hate that game, though. I would just parlay the money line, them and Tampa Bay money line, and then go with Baltimore and Seattle with Baltimore, Indy, and the
wait, too much. We'll do it at the end. There's only one more game. We'll put. I have a couple parlays already, one for each day, and then I think we could do a sweet 6-teamer, how we're feeling. We can have some fun with this one. Let's
load up and you get back and you can retire.
Exactly. That is the goal. Oh wait, Casey's got one more starting quarterback for Cleveland during Buster's rookie season. Colt McCoy, Giants and Washington Football Club legend.
Yes, I love Colt McCoy.
Let's go.
I did not start Colt. I'll tell you that.
Boo.
I went to Johnny Football.
Talking about those Browns, though, we have the Browns, we have the Steelers. Line opened at -3.5. It's now sitting at -6 to the Steelers, and the Browns don't have their coaching staff. They also don't have their longest tenured Brown, which is the saddest part. I don't remember. It's one of their guards, I think. He's not able to play in the game. He has the vid. Kevin Stefanski has the vid. You'll love to see the NFL not give a shit about the Browns the last 3 weeks, though. Like they have clearly had this, mini pandemic, mini like outbreak, and the NFL's just like, your whole wide receiving core, we don't give a fuck. Oh, this whole other part of your team, we still don't give a fuck. Your entire coaching staff, we don't give a fuck. So it's kind of cool that the Browns made the playoffs. Really sucks we don't actually get to see them in the playoffs. Thank you, Casey. I apologize. I did not mean to put Joel Benito?
Batonio.
That was bad. Didn't mean to put him on blast, but yeah, it sucks, Casey. I feel bad because obviously I want the Browns to win this game, but I don't think it's going to happen. Stix, I guess let's start with you. Browns or Steelers -6. Browns don't have a coaching staff. I mean, we saw the Lions not have a coaching staff a couple weeks ago. Now, obviously, the talent level isn't quite as comparable, but they lost in the first half. They legitimately lost the first football game, an NFL football game in the first half, with Tom Brady throwing for like 404. So it was kind of a joke. What do you think?
My favorite coach too. This one stinks.
I know.
He can't coach no matter what. Can he still test negative tomorrow and the next day?
Hugh Freeze coached from a hospital bed. I can't see why Kevin Stefanski can't coach from like up in the stands in a place where they're not allowed to have fans anyway. I don't really see why that's.
I'm not sure he'd be allowed in the stadium is the thing. I don't know what the protocols are.
6 feet. We all know. We've done this for 9 friggin' months. Yes, you have a mask on and you're 6 feet away.
Yeah, but the 6 feet rule
go away.
The 6 feet rule, the spirit of it contemplates that like you're not sure if somebody has COVID, so stay 6 feet away. When you know somebody has COVID, I don't think they're actually allowed on the premises.
So he's in the mezzanine then. Don't put anyone else in the goddamn mezzanine. Like get the hell out.
He's tailgating and coaching on the flag.
That's
of
fine.
TV.
I don't know, man. It's bullshit.
Can he coach though if he tests negative the next 2 days, or is he just? He's not.
I think he's straight out.
No, he's out.
Yeah, because he tested positive, and like you get 14 days. You can't. So it sucks.
Well, the good news is it's not Freddie Kitchens or Hugh Jackson, so there's glass half full stuff here.
How is the line only 6? That's the part I'm confused.
Okay, hold on. Can I interrupt? Because the Steelers suck. They've been bad.
But you don't have multiple coaches. And they probably are still going to be down some wide receivers. I'm just assuming they're going to be down wide receivers. This is going to be like the 3rd or 4th week. Casey, please let us know. But like, you don't have your head coach. I feel like he's a pretty important guy.
I mean,
he's a play caller too.
Yeah, and he has things in place. I'm sure it's not like they're going to be like, oh, what do we do when the game starts? Like, I mean,
they're going to have no communication all week.
They're going to have the first 15 plays scripted, I'm sure, and then they can lean on, if it's a close game, they can lean on Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and just kind of see where that goes. I don't think that's that big a deal. I think Kevin Stefanski is a really important piece, but I think he's an important piece just from a long-term year standpoint. I don't think this particular game, it sucks, but I don't think him coaching or not coaching affects the line, more than like a point, for example. I mean, I can't imagine it does. So I actually, I don't know if Stix is giving a play here, but this is going to be a clean sweep for me because let me just be real clear. For the Washington game, I'm just sort of abstaining from picking right now because I don't know how the Taylor Heineke, Alex Smith situation is going to go, and I really feel weird about Alex Smith playing a majority of that game. So I've sort of abstained from picking that game, but I've picked dogs in every single game so far, and I'm sticking with it here. I think +6, I don't want to say it's too many, but I think it's right around the number where it should be because Pittsburgh hasn't flashed any sort of dominance on offense or defense. Don't forget, Bud Dupree's gone, Devin Bush is gone, and as soon as those guys left the defense, Devin Bush was first, but that defense has been not a shell of itself, but an average defense at best. So I think the Browns have the running game to just put some pressure on Pittsburgh, and I think 6 is going to end up being too many. So give me the dog yet again, clean sweep.
I love it. I'm going to parlay all the dogs for you, Sia. Stix, does the model take into account Kevin Stefanski not being there?
No, I don't really know how to do that. Damn. I can maybe bump the offense down a tiny bit, but no, I got a Pitt -3.88. So Pitt -4, that puts Browns in cover zone. So that's good. I think Big Ben's going to have a big day. I think if any other quarterback would be in my player pool outside of Wolford and Lamar, I think Big Ben would be number 3. I think you could really beat up on this Cleveland secondary. But
I think he's spiteful enough to want to do it too.
Sure.
Not playing last week, especially.
He probably just watched the whole, he knows all their schemes that they're going to run, but unless they scheme differently for Rudolph and Dobbs, I think that's why they threw Dobbs out there too, is let's see if their scheme changes any bit. It didn't. So I think I really like what Pittsburgh did. They probably it's just weird that they have to play again. It's really weird for me to kind of handicap. So like Pitt definitely has the upper hand. I think I like Pitt money line here. But if I had to choose a side, I guess I would go with the Browns just because there's a little bit of an edge there in our numbers. But I want to take Pittsburgh. But I'm going to trust the numbers. Leave the heart at home and go on. I think these three receivers are going to be tough to match up against. Oh wait, actually, hold on.
So if we look at the comments,
Casey says we'll find if Denzel Ward is playing tomorrow.
I don't think Denzel Ward's that good. He's just got the speed to keep up with Deontay and Claypool. But is Claypool playing? Didn't he get hurt?
Oh, he did. I forgot about that.
At the end of the game, he sort of was limping around.
Yeah.
I don't know
why any of those guys played. It should have just been James Washington and backup guys, but
yeah. Good question. Casey says since 12/21, Merry Christmas. Browns have basically not been able to have even a half a week of practice due to the facility being closed. They only have one wide receiver out this week, so that's kind of nice. Everybody's going to be coming back, and Myles Garrett going to be talking to Big Ben. That's interesting.
Claypool's good to go.
All right, it's going to be. I don't know. I want the Browns to win so bad.
Ebron may be out. Maybe that's it, but
I want the Browns to win so bad. So that's
Kareem Hunt is 4,800 on DraftKings. That seems like pretty good value there. Just throwing that out there.
Especially if we think Pitt can score at will. Do you like the over in this game? What's the total here? I like the over.
It was kind of low, 40 something. Yeah, 47. No, not that low. 47.
I think that's pretty low. Most games, this is the most rushing touchdowns in an NFL season and the most passing touchdowns, so the most scoring ever. I like the over big time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on. I like that too, actually.
Model has 41.5 points without any extra points or field goals.
Wow.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That trends to be over.
That's nice. Almost 6 touchdowns.
If there's any movement on
6?
that.
No, it's 7 because no field goals or extra points. You said, right?
Yep.
GD. That's pretty nice. So that's the 6-game super wild card weekend in the NFL. This was a lot of fun. So now I think we take a step back. Sia had all dogs. Stix was only on the Saints. Didn't really seem like he wanted to be. Oh, you were also on the Ravens. You were on the Ravens too. So you had a couple. You had a couple of the favorites. So Sia, for you, I will put in a parlay, just straight up all the dogs. I'll take the points. Then I think it's fun to also do that again, but give myself a little bit of cushion and tease all of them as well. So give myself like an extra 3 or an extra 6 on all the dogs. I'll parlay all of them together.
I would advise taking the Washington game out of that, though. I would advise doing a 5-game parlay with the points with those dogs other than Washington. Okay. It's just too like the Alex Smith situation. It's too hard to handicap because he's such a sitting duck back there, and we don't know if and when Taylor Heinicke is going to come in the game. If you have a hard stance on that game, it can't really be on Washington. It would have to be on the Bucs because there's so much indecision in the Washington backfield with the quarterbacks.
All right, deal. You convinced me. I'll take them out of the 5-game parlay. You guys, what are your favorite bets? Sia, what's your favorite bet for the weekend?
You know, if the Rams game ticks up to 3.5, that's definitely going to be my favorite bet. But as it stands right now, I'm looking at 3. Are you guys looking at 3.5? No, I guess it's 3.5 in a lot of places. Okay, so I'll give you my 2 favorite bets. It's the Rams plus 3.5, and it's the Colts if it's plus 7. But I still like the Colts at plus 6.5. So in other words, the first 2 games on Saturday are my favorite bets, and it's both dogs.
All right. And yeah, you can get 3.5 in a bunch of places. Looks like BetMGM, FanDuel, PointsBet, Bet365, William Hill. They all have it at 3.5. It's the one book that I'm looking at, DraftKings, that has it at 3. Just to be clear, we talked about like maybe wait a little bit because there's a chance it'll click up to 4. It's probably more of a chance it'll click up to 4 rather than it would click down to 3 is my guess. Yep. 100%. Stix, how about you? Favorite bet for the weekend?
I think Rams in Baltimore, but we could do I'm going to do a big teaser right now.
Let's do it.
taking the 7, but that gives me 13.5, which sucks because it's not 7 anymore. Then I would take the Rams teased as well. I would tease Tampa Bay down to like +3. I think that would make it, or +2.
Minus.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be minus
Yeah,
one.
sorry. Never mind. I'm looking at my numbers, not theirs. Then Baltimore. Then I hate teasing favorites, so no play in the Bears game. Taking Cleveland. Actually, no, just take the over in that game. Teased up. So.
Oh, I love that. Oh, so you're teasing that down to 40.5?
Yep. So Colts, Rams, Bucks, Ravens, and Cleveland, Pittsburgh over.
Are you just taking Ravens money line then?
No, this is a teaser. So they would be +2. So I'll do a 7-pointer.
Couple things to point out. It doesn't look like we have any weather issues. I mean, obviously, all places other than the Dome, which is going to be the Saints game, it's going to be like in the 30s or 40s, but it doesn't look like we have any precipitation or high winds expected. So that's good.
I like it. Cool.
You get the Rams +10 in that teaser. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bucks -1, Ravens +3.5, over 40.5. Oh, that's great. Let's go.
It sounds perfect, doesn't it? There's no way this possibly can't hit.
Yeah, this is a lock of the century. I'll tell Abby we're gonna put the house on it. And
I was gonna say pay your mortgage for February, right?
Yeah, I'll put a lot on this actually.
There you go. Oh, all right. What's the money? What's the odds on it? Do you have that in front of you?
It's +279.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll triple my money. That's not a problem.
I would like to have 3-1 flat, but whatever.
I'll take it.
It's because I did 7 points. Now I don't do 6 points. I do 7-point teasers only. I've lost too many by 1 point. It's in my psycho notes of always take 7 or don't do it at all.
Or don't do it at all. You gotta love it. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to Sia. Thank you to Stix. Thank you to Casey and everybody else in the chat. We appreciate each and every one of you. We hope this was fun. We hope this was educational. We hope you win a boatload of money for it. Thank you very much to Manscaped. Again, manscaped.com, promo code WINDAILY, 20% off, free shipping, and nice, clean balls. Sia, where can everybody find you on the internet?
I'm just really impressed. We got through our first political show, and it was only an hour.
We did a great job, guys.
Yeah, it was really clean.
Can I see a question real quick?
Oh no,
just real quick. Lanto Griffin, is that the easiest fade in golf tomorrow?
Well, yeah, because he's the most popular guy. But I mean, it depends what type of tournament you're playing, I guess. I mean, I think Lanto.
Give me the short answer. I'm not playing the chalky guy. If you had to think about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Lanto Griffin.
You can fade him.
All right.
Check out all the golf content we have up at windailysports.com.
You guys didn't talk about Lanto yesterday that much, so that's why I need to ask.
We found out today he was the highest owned golfer. So
who, Lanto? No, we found that out. We had that
yesterday.
Yeah,
you did.
Oh yeah, you're right because you made us guess, and it was Lanto Griffin. Yeah. All right, that's on me. Sorry, guys.
If he burns me out, that's cool. Good for him. I'm out.
Casey, best hour of his week. Number 2 is The Masked Singer.
Put that up so I can screenshot it.
Casey, we need I just don't understand the concept of the show because they're not actually singing, right? Like they're just dancing around.
No, they're singing.
Bullshit. Out everybody looks.
I've heard Ninja talk, and he was on the show. I don't think Ninja can sing that well. Get the fuck out of here. That's ridiculous.
No, I'm pretty sure they're singing under their mask. That's kind of like the point of the show.
I'm going to Mac Hughes.
I'm going to call bullshit. Just saying.
Mac Hughes is solid. He's a great putter. I mean, he's not really in my player pool.
Guys. We did a whole show on this yesterday. Stix, just go back and listen to it. Anyway, thank you, Casey, for us being your favorite hour of the week, second to Masked Singer. I'm sure you love Masked Dancer too. Fucking Fox. I'm excited. It should be a lot of fun. Wildcard weekend, super wildcard weekend. This thing is going to be absolutely fantastic. Sia, I'm sorry. Where can everybody find you?
So at Sia Najad. By the way, Casey, I don't know if you're on Twitter. You got to get on Twitter. So you can find me on Twitter at Sia Najad, SIANEJAD. Instagram, Sia Najad Sports.
Stix. Where can everybody find you?
STIXPICKS. I do not have Instagram because I never.
Do you actually not have it, or do you just don't want to tell people about it?
Don't have it.
Okay.
You look like somebody that wouldn't have it. I didn't have it until like a month ago. I was very much against it. But
Sia needed a place to put his field goal kick in and his full court shot shooting.
I know. We got to play horse one of these days in the new world.
In the new era. Well, we'll see what happens. After this political show, I don't know if we're going to get there. You can find me at Michael Brazil 1 on Twitter. check us out at Win Daily Sports on Twitter. Make sure to hop into our Discord chat. That's where all the magic happens. We'll be talking about NFL all weekend there, PGA all weekend there, NBA all weekend there, literally everything. It's all back. We're having a lot of fun. So with that said, one more time, $150 NBA season pass. You get every single thing on the site. $150, $20 a month will make you a lot more money than that. You get PGA, you get NFL, you get Ghost and Adam and Tulak over in the NBA as well. So they've been crushing it. So for Stix, for Sia, for the rest of the Win Daily Sports family, for the chat, we hope you make it a very profitable NFL Super Wildcard weekend.
Sports.